Welcome back to the market caller for today, 14th of April 2025. So quickly, we're going to be looking at dollar index, Euro USD, GBP USD, gold, and then we'll be proceeding from there. Now, looking at the dollar index on the weekly time frame, we've seen that the dollar index is clearing all the lows that we've previously anticipated would stop the dollar index from trading further down. Okay, so we marked this low, which seemed to be like the low of the last, I think, 2 years. Yeah. So this was the low of 2024, and this was the lowest point, and dollar index cleared it. Now, this is the lowest point of 2023, and the dollar index has cleared it. All right, so this is showing us clear signs that the dollar index, or the dollar generally, is not yet in the mood to start giving us the push to the upside, because there's still been a lot of things coming out from the US with respect to various economic policies, especially the increase in tariff, or the tariff hike that has been circulating around various countries between the US and major economies like China, the Eurozone, Canada, and many other countries. We've been seeing that tariff war going on for the past couple of weeks now. So the US has been increasing their tariffs on various countries and their imports from those countries. And those countries have also been retaliating. We've been seeing efforts from countries like China and Canada especially, also retaliating in the tariff. So whenever US imposes an increase in tariff, they retaliate. If another one is imposed upon them further than what was imposed the last time, they also retaliate. So all these wars make it very impractical to see the to see the US dollar rallying to the upside at this moment. So most likely, the US dollar is currently in a run to the downside. As you've seen it technically, analyzing it this morning, it has been clearing all the lows of the last 2 years within a week or two. All right, so this kind of things usually happen when there is uncertainty in a particular currency. Now, when you have uncertainty in a currency like the US dollar at this period, you would not want to use it as a means of trade or as a currency of trade, because there is fluctuation and it's losing its value. So if you have a transaction which is costing you about $100 at the period, by the time you would want to conclude that transaction, it could be costing you even more, because the dollar is losing its value against major currencies. So during this period, it's best to transact in other currencies. That is why you're seeing the US dollar going short in this period, as we've seen it happen recently. Now, back to the technical analysis, we're seeing that we expected to see a pool of US dollar, or a rally of US dollar from either of these two levels. Instead, what we saw was a retracement. Now, if you look at the daily time frame, that makes it clearer for us. So we wanted to see if the US dollar was going to push back to the upside from here, but what we saw was a retracement instead. So what I'm anticipating to happen on the US dollar going into the remaining parts of this week is to see how it's going to give another round of retracement. So we saw that it traded into this zone and then retraced further, then sold a little more. On Friday, we saw a volume imbalance that was created, so we can get rid of these guys here and then pay more attention to this one. So a volume imbalance was created on Friday. We'll look at that on the 4-hour time frame soon. So after that was created, we've not seen a reasonable retracement back to that level. Now, that level also coincides with this last level that was broken. So the last low that was broken on the dollar. So the low of 2024, yeah, yes. So that level was taken out, and we've not seen a decent retracement back there. So going forward into the remaining part of this week, we might see that retracement into this portion that has been left unfilled. So that is what I'm expecting to play out on the US dollar this week. I expect it to sell further, but then give us a retracement into here and then continue selling. Now, if you look at it right now, it has taken out all the liquidity that we were anticipating would send price back up. Now that it has taken out all those liquidity, we should be expecting some retracement. Now, the next point of liquidity that we might be expecting the dollar index to take out would be this level right here. Okay, somewhere around 2022. Yeah, somewhere around March 2022. We're expecting that low to be taken out. But before that low is taken out, we would want to see a retracement. All right. Now, seeing that we want to see a retracement doesn't change our bias for the dollar. Our bias for the dollar is still a sell. We're expecting a short on the dollar, and we're expecting to continue going on until there is a clear direction on the dollar based off economic policies that are coming out from the United States. So for now, we'll just keep going short on the dollar. This is my bias, and this is my analysis on how I came to that conclusion. Okay, so talking about the volume imbalance, you could see that on the 4-hour time frame, price tried to mitigate it a little, but it didn't fully fill up that mitigation. However, it did mitigate a little. Now, I'm not expecting price to expressly trade into this level before selling. You could also see it from this level sell to the downside. So my bias still remained the same and unchanged about the dollar. So I'm expecting further sales to take place. Now, seeing that we're expecting further sales to take place on the dollar, let's look at some foreign currencies where we can implement this analysis on. So starting off with the Euro USD. The bias for Euro USD has always been up and it's still remaining up. So what we'll be looking out for entry points for Euro USD long. Now, for me, I'm expecting Euro USD to trade all the way to take out these highs. Now, if you see, just like the dollar, Euro USD has taken out the high of 2024, which is somewhere around here. Yeah, so this was the high of 2024. Now, for 2023, this is the high of 2023. So just like the US dollar index, Euro USD has taken out that high. So going into the next point of interest would be taking out the high of 2022, okay, which is right here. I'm expecting Euro USD to take out that high in the coming days, especially into this week. So for the analysis on Euro USD, it has traded to the upside, giving us some short retracement. Right now, I'm expecting further buys on Euro USD to the upside. Now, I'm considering this range from here to here, and price has given a decent retracement from that since it started. So from here to here is the range, okay? You can see how price gave a decent retracement and is continuing to the upside. From anywhere around where Euro USD is at the moment, I'm willing to take a buy of Euro USD from that place all the way to 1.15000. Okay, so I'm looking to take that buy from this anywhere around here. So once I see an entry signature printing out around this level, I'm willing to take my buy all the way to this level. That should be about 100 pips in profits or in our direction of our analysis. So if I see an entry signature of Euro USD printing out around here, I'll be willing to take my buy all the way to the upside. Okay, so this is what I'm anticipating on Euro USD, and this is our predicted direction for Euro USD. So whichever entry signature you use, especially for us here on the market color, we usually take advantage of the box pattern. So I'm going to show you that quickly on the 5 minutes time frame. So on the 5 minutes time frame, we have our box pattern printed right here, where we have this as our left shoulder. There was a sweep right here, a break of structure here. Right now, what we're expecting is for Euro USD to come and take this liquidity. Once it grabs this liquidity on the 5 minutes time frame and comes into this level, this is going to form our entry for Euro USD. So I'm giving you a live signal here on the market color so that you can take advantage of it immediately. So we can reduce around 15 pips. I don't like to go lower than that. And then we're targeting all the way here. Okay, so this could look like a robbery in real terms, because imagine using 15 pips to get about 100 pips. That's like 1:8, and which is very good for this kind of trading seasons where we expect movements to be very fast and volatile in the direction. So this is what I'm expecting to play out on Euro USD. So my entry is going to be somewhere around 1.13655, 1.13655. Okay. And then my stop loss is going to be somewhere around 1.13477. So this is going to be my stop loss. And then my take profit will be somewhere shy of 1.4800, 1.14800. So somewhere around there, 1.14900. That's where my take profit is going to be. All right, so this is what I'm looking out for on Euro US. You can see prices trading further downwards. So I expect that move to start from here and then trade to the upside. And this is the path I expect price to follow. We trade into this level and then boom, all the way up here to grab the high of 2022. That is the target for today's trade. So this could take more than 1 day to achieve, maybe into tomorrow, but however long it takes, it's good for us as long as we are in profit. So Euro USD buy from this level all the way to this level. This is my analysis and this is my bias for Euro USD. Okay, now let's look over to GBP USD quickly. All right, so on GBP USD, I'm expecting the same thing. Look at the high of GBP USD so far. GBP USD has been making those moves to the upside, but unlike Euro USD and the dollar index, GBP USD is yet to take out the high of 2024, and also the high of 2023 has been taken out by the high of 2024. So we just expect GBP USD to take out the high of 2024, as that would also cover for the high of 2023, which is somewhere around here. So seeing that being the case, we expect GBP USD to trade even more. Now, if you also look at the high of 2022, which should be somewhere around was it January or February? Okay, so this is it. So this was the high of, this is the high of 2022. Okay, so we're expecting GBP USD to take out this guy and this guy all together in that move to the upside, and then possibly go and look out for the high of 2021, which is still a juicy point. But then my summary of this is that GBP USD still have more length or more pips to travel compared to what Euro USD has shown us, and the dollar index has also shown us. So GBP USD is going to favor a strong buy during this period. Now, you can see how that buy has taken off after price retraced into this previous resistance level and then started trading back to the upside. So this is kind of a breakout block on the 4-hour time frame, and then GBP USD is moving that way. Okay, so we expect it to continue moving continuously to the upside. I haven't seen GBPUSD giving us that retracement, filling up imbalances that were left during this last expansion to the upside. Right now, I'm expecting GBPUSD to continue buying to the upside and taking out 1.34 region. So this region is my target for a GBPUSD buy. Now let's look at the 4-hour time frame to see potential entries. Okay, so on the 4-hour time frame, it's yet to break this level, so we cannot consider this full swing yet because structure has not been broken. But if you look at the 1-hour time frame, you see that it has broken its own structure, which is somewhere around here. Okay, now seeing that being played out, we're expecting a short retracement of GBPUSD, and then we'll be buying to the upside. So my analysis and my bias for GBPUSD generally is for a buy. Right now, we're not seeing a good entry pattern on GBPUSD, so we might not be looking for it to trade all the way down here. Let me show you that on the 5 minutes time frame. So we might not be expecting GBPUSD to trade all the way down here, okay, to give us that box pattern, but at least a decent retracement into the high of Asia, which is somewhere here. Okay, so somewhere around here, which is the high of Asia, would be a decent retracement for GBPUSD, and then we'll be taking it to the upside. So for GBPUSD, this is where I'm expecting it to trade to, all the way here. I can have my stop loss around 20 pips or so, somewhere here. Or you can even extend it to 30 pips, because considering what we're going to target as our take profits, 30 pips shouldn't be too much to ask for. So as we're generous with our stop loss, we have to also be generous with our take profit. So take profit will be somewhere around that high that we showed. Okay, so that's on I think 4-hour time frame will be visible. So the overall take profit will be somewhere around here. That's quite a lot. Should be around 300 pips. Okay, so around 300 pips. But then in this kind of trades, you're going to be managing it properly, where we'll be taking profits slowly as price is approaching our target. So for GBPUSD today, this is where I'm expecting it to get to, and then I'll be taking my trade off from this level once it gets there. So the high of Asia is my entry target for GBPUSD. Once it trades into the high of Asia, I'll be looking to take my entry, and then my take profit is going to be waiting for GBPUSD to take out the high of 2024. Once it's gradually getting there, maybe after 50 or 100 pips, we take out some profit. After another 50 or 100 pips, we take out some profit until it gets there, because that's about a 300 pips distance to be covered. So that is what I'm going to be doing on GBPUSD. That is my bias, and this is my analysis. So a quick recap on the dollar index. I'm expecting it to continue selling because of this period of economic tensions from the US, which as a result of the tariff wars that's currently going on there. So since we're expecting sales on the dollar index, on EURUSD, we're expecting buys. On GBPUSD, we're expecting buys. I'm giving you the live signal for EURUSD buy and also for a GBPUSD buy. So I expect everyone to be able to do your own research and then take the trades if it aligns with your perspective of the market. So just quickly run your own top down, and if it aligns, feel free to take the trades and then enjoy the profits that comes from it. And as usual, when you get profit from the live signals like this, feel free to send us a message on WhatsApp or on Telegram showing us your trading results, so that we'll know that the inputs we are making and the efforts we're making at this analysis are not taken for granted and are actually making some good profits for people who are taking them. Okay.